Okay, let me get rid of this. Well, good evening, everybody. This is going to be a short uh, breaking news live stream. As some of you may have heard, Randy Lynn Erickson was supposed to appear by Zoom call today in Anoka County Court. This is to um, answer for violation of the order against her to cease and desist, saying slanderous and stuff about um, Craig Sawyer, which he did not do. So they went to court. Randy didn't show up. It was a brief session, about 5 or 6 minutes. It The judge said that Randy is going to be fined $500, and she had until the end of business day today to appear in court, call the court, and reschedule a hearing for a later time and provide a legitimate excuse as to why she did not show up. And the information I have so far is that she has not contacted the court, and so the warrant has been issued and should be published tomorrow, so that on my next live stream I will have an update on the status of the arrest warrant. Now, it is my understanding this is going to be a misdemeanor arrest warrant. There was talk about making it a felony warrant, but I believe that it was decided by the judge to make it a misdemeanor warrant, and so she's off the hook for now, at least if these violations continue. Now, this is a rather curious development when you stop and think that Randy is supposed to be this all-important person connected to the former president and first lady, and she says that she's a former judge. She has all of these licenses, and so on and so forth. Now, the problem for Randy is she has always bragged about having FBI background checks, and there's nothing on her background checks. Well, there is now. Because now Randy is going to have, more than likely by tomorrow, a warrant out for her arrest. And part of the requirements to hold professional licenses is that you have to have a clean record. And so with this warrant, and it being a contempt of court warrant, she may have put all her licenses in jeopardy. The various professional regulation agencies, such as the real estate people and whatever else she has, could revoke her real estate license because of this complaint. She is, anytime you get this kind of a license, you swear to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States and to obey their laws. And since, as a licensed real estate broker, she is using the courts in the course of her real estate transactions. And if she's found to be in contempt of court, this is problematic in that it affects her ability to deal with the courts. People that buy, sell, or use her services as far as the real estate business are going to be concerned because she has now tainted her reputation with this outstanding warrant. And so we are going to be watching to see what the developments are over the next few days. I will be doing either, if my schedule permits, I will be doing a live stream on Friday, and I definitely will be doing a live stream on Saturday if I don't do it on Friday, because it might be until the end of business day Friday that I'm able to get anything from the court um, in regards to that. Yes, it does, Mark, because what's going to happen here is Craig Sawyer, Bob Hammer, and Kim Pascazio can now use this contempt citation in the case against her. And this also brings up the situation that this woman has made certain claims about Craig Sawyer, Bob Hammer, and Kim Pascazio, and now she has failed to appear in court. And in order to avoid being arrested in the state of Minnesota, she cannot be in Minnesota. So there's always the possibility that Randy Erickson could be anywhere in the United States. She could be in Florida, she could be in Arizona, she could be in California. And also remember that Tim Holmseth has been traveling all over the country. And he's made it known that he's traveling freely. He's put up selfies of himself in the state of Texas and the state of Arizona, I believe, and also at military installations and at various locations throughout the country. So there is nothing to prevent him from showing up in Arizona, and there's nothing to prevent Randy from showing up in Arizona. And since Tim Holmseth has declared himself a war correspondent and recently has kind of made an interesting claim that I'm going to go into more on Saturday, that is tipping the scales towards him being on the road to violence, that he may resort to a violent course of action, or he may um, he may find himself with a felony warrant on top of his uh, misdemeanor warrant, because if they are together, then he is aiding and abetting a fugitive from justice, and she in return is aiding and abetting a fugitive from justice. So they both could wind up getting felony warrants tacked on. And with this latest development, this increases exponentially Craig Sawyer's case, Bob Hammer's case, and Kim Pascazio's case against Randy Erickson. Now, there is the danger here that Randy could try and hide her assets, liquidate her assets. It would be wise for the lawyers for these three parties to put liens on her assets, freeze her assets so she cannot hide or liquidate her assets in anticipation of losing her case and winding up having to pay hefty damages, much like that was levied against Preacher Dan. So we have right now this deepening of the well here with Randy Erickson and Tim Helmseth both. Now, remember that the two of them have bragged about being in close association with the former first family. Uh, Tim has bragged about having direct interaction with Melania Trump, and to some extent, so has Randy Erickson. Now, this being the case, there is always the possibility these two might go down to Florida, to Mar-a-Lago. Remember that Tim Holmseth went to Lynn Wood's estate. He has a habit of showing up in the strangest places. He went to the house where John Benet Ramsey used to live and got murdered at. And it would not be too much of a stretch to say that he is going to show up at Mar-a-Lago. And because of that, the Secret Service has been notified that Tim Holmseth is making these claims, and the Secret Service is aware that Randy Erickson is a close associate. They have detailed information about the two of them. Remember, when I was in Minneapolis, I approached two Secret Service agents at a gathering by Republicans there, and one of the family members was there, and they took down information about both of these individuals and were given the poster that a private group has put out there, along with copies of the arrest warrant for Timothy Holmseth out of Polk County, Minnesota. And I once again called the Secret Service and made them aware of what I had reported in last year, and also the fact that there may be a warrant out for the arrest of Randy Erickson, and told them about the claims. And so Randy Erickson is now likely going to be on a watch list by the Secret Service. So it's advisable that neither Randy or Holmseth show up at Mar-a-Lago. And also, I have contacted my local county sheriff to let them know that a woman who threatened to come to my house, which is on private property, and so on and so forth, and also made them aware that this woman is got a arrest warrant out for her arrest for contempt of court at a hearing having to do with stalking. Now, the people over on Telegram and on BitChute, I'm not sure if they're aware of what's going on or not, but I do understand that at least one individual is monitoring this channel that is over on Telegram. And so that individual might want to let people know in both Telegram and BitChute that the warrant for Lynn Anderson, if not effective right now, will be in effect by tomorrow afternoon. The warrant would have been filed after business hours today, and so it may not be transmitted to the county sheriff until tomorrow. And that way, sometime tomorrow, it would be official as to whether or not the warrant is issued. That is the claim of Randy and Timmy, that they are in very close association with her. Now, they have not stated that they have been sent an invitation yet. they might go down there to see if they can get an audience with the former president of the United States or something just as crazy. And there is no telling what either of these two might do to try and gain entrance to the resort. Um, and so the Secret Service has enough information for them to decide whether or not they're going to be concerned about these two showing up at Mar-a-Lago. So, basically, we don't know what's going on with Randy, where she's at, how she's going to react to this. Um, and so it's going to be a wait and see. But it has affected their case in a negative way. And so far, there has been silence on the Pentagon Pedophile Telegram channel. I don't think anybody's aware yet what's going on. But as more and more of these things come out, they are going to start losing people because they're, people over on these various channels are going to realize that they're being played. And they are not going to have the support that they used to have. Each step of the way that is being taken now with these civil cases and now this arrest warrant is not going to work in her favor because people are going to say, wait a minute, Donald Trump and his wife supposedly are closely associated with these two. So if that's the case, why aren't they intervening to help these two? Why are they ignoring these two? And it's apparent that it's probably because they don't have these connections with the president, former president, or anyone, not even Lynn Wood. They are over there being large, pretending to have all these connections and sucking these people into this big hoax and making a fortune off it. Unfortunately, as things progress and as they start losing these cases, mainly Randy, they are going to say, wait a darn minute. You people are losing where's all these big connections? Why are you having to run away from court? Why are you not showing up in court? You're this big former judge that's supposed to have all these answers and be making these big revelations, and yet the first opportunity you have to show up and defend yourself, you run away. And it's the exact same thing that Timmy did. They run away from everything. And I was just told that Lynn Wood has removed all social media mentions of Tim Homestead. And this came on the heels of him saying, be careful of who you send money to and who you believe in. So Tim Homestead may have lost Lynn Wood. And, and now all these questions over on these various websites, over on BitChute, Telegram, Gab, Rumble, and elsewhere, are starting to be asked. What is with these two? They're supposed to be the ones doing all this stuff, and yet all this weirdness has happened. They're supposed to be going after the evil, quote unquote, Solomon Sawyer, and yet Solomon Sawyer is beating him to a pulp. And the excuse that this is an admiralty court and part of the deep state and all that ain't gonna last forever. The judge in the federal case is a Trump appointee, and the judge is not doing Randy any favors. And now we have a judge in this county court that is going against Randy Erickson with actions being filed by someone who does not live in the state of Minnesota. So we have all this going on, and I don't think the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force is going to be around very long. I would almost bet by the end of this year it will be gone. It will be just a archive on the various social media platforms. The blog more than likely will disappear. There has been nothing on the blog except a static advertisement for t-shirts. At last check, from what somebody has told me, Randy has not posted on her personal Facebook account in just about a month, and it is beginning to look like they are beginning to recede. And as these actions proceed through the courts, and as Randy starts losing judgments, decisions that wind up being granted to Craig Sawyer's attorney and all the other parties involved, they are going bye-bye. Because there could be, if Randy does not show up for her own lawsuit, it will be dismissed. And then Craig Sawyer will be given summary judgment because Randy will have started an action and didn't follow through on it. And so he's going to petition the court to be paid for all the expenses he's incurred fighting this thing. And then he's going to petition for damages because of the stalking that she's done in federal court. Because, there's two lawsuits at play here. There's the lawsuit by Randy, and then there's countersuit by Craig Sawyer. And so as Randy screws up her lawsuit more and more with everything she does, it's going to strengthen Craig Sawyer's countersuit, and he's going to win by default. And then once he wins, Bob Hammer is going to start his action, and followed by Kim Picazio. They're basically going to take turns, and it's just going to do a dog pile. And what's going to wind up happening is, Randy's going to be penniless by the time this is done. Her husband's not going to be happy because the house in Minnesota that he's residing in right now is a joint asset. And he is just as liable for the lawsuit as she is because it's a joint asset. He would have to either negotiate with Craig Sawyer and the other parties, or he would have to move because he is in danger right now of losing any joint property he has with Randy. Because Randy didn't take the legal steps necessary to protect her personal assets, and because of that, and she's in trouble. And also, since it was her business entity, namely the TimothyCharlesHomeseth.com blog and publishing assets, she is personally liable for all that. So there is a lot in the works that is not going to bode well for Randy Erickson's. And there is always the possibility that Randy could throw Tim Holmseth under the bus. You know, if she gets desperate enough, she just might say, well, I was influenced by Tim and so on and so forth, and because of that, I did all this stuff. I was sandbagged just as much as everybody else, and now I realize that it's Timmy to blame. Blame Timmy. You know, she is going to try and see if she can wiggle out of this somehow. And Tim Holmseth and some of her other supporters might be on the hook. She might blame David Street for misleading her. You know, he's the big fish in all this, and she might turn state's evidence against David Street. She could turn state's evidence against all these other people that have been helping her out. Because there's no honor above thieves, as you might remember that expression. So she might wind up throwing a whole bunch of people under the bus just to protect her hide. And so anyone associated with Randy Erickson right now might want to either lawyer up or might want to be a lot more careful with any association they have with her. This includes people over on Telegram who are running that PPTF account and other people. Because as this intensifies, this umbrella is going to spread to all these other people, especially if Aunt Randy tries to figure out a way to get out of this mess. And the way to get out of this mess is to blame these other people. I mean, look at what she did to the friends of Tim Holmseth. The one friend who was his power of attorney, the other friend who's been supporting him all along. She basically threw them under the bus and tried to blame them for everything that happened to Timmy. They accused him of stealing. They accused him of being responsible for the picture that went up with Timmy and his son dressed up as a little girl. There is a record of friend after friend after friend after friend of Timmy being betrayed directly because of Randy Erickson. Randy Erickson fills Tim Holmseth's head with all this misinformation about his friends and forces Tim to turn against them. This is a pattern that's been going on. And we just had another indication of this because someone titled the task force, who is just here now, came in here and said that infiltrated is not part of the PPTF. And here's the excuse. Task Force just declared that it was deliberate that Randy did not go to court because of an execution plot foiled. Fake judge, employee of a corporation. Here's the problem with that. This was a Zoom call. It's like making a telephone call with video. All she had to do was go on Zoom. She did not have to physically be in the court, and she knows that. And so now, this expected excuse that I anticipated this. I didn't expect Task Force to come in here with it, but there it is. This is the excuse she's using, not to go to court. But the problem with that is it's not going to stand. Now, here is someone who is licensed by the state of Minnesota and the state of Florida, who now has an arrest warrant. That will not pass an FBI check. And the licensing agency, the regulatory agency, may well revoke her license to do business in each of these states. And the defamation continues. These people are insane. They need to be Baker acted. They just make these wild accusations up with no proof. Where's your proof, task force? You put this defamatory stuff out there and no proof. Because you don't have any. And these statements that you come in here and make on my channel shows the public just how insane you are. You need professional help. You need to go and check yourself into a psych ward to find out why you have to lie like this. And over on BitChute, there's been nothing. Why haven't you said anything on BitChute about this? You've been quiet over there. Let's go over to BitChute. The only thing over there is a false report you made about Biden. Nope, no updates. Nothing about Randy and not appearing in court today. Not a single thing. And let's see, horrible video. This guy just makes shit up by analyzing footage. His smoking gun is a woman who was fine and then was magically injured on a stretcher going to the hospital. So, comments over on BitChute are not boding well for Timmy. Yeah, this is the same thing that happened with Timmy. This is a perfect opportunity for her to march in course and to defend herself, and she refused to do it. She says, "Oh, I was going to be assassinated." How? You weren't even supposed to. You could have appeared in court in a hotel room in buntfuck Egypt. No one would have known where you were. You could not. You could have used a burner phone to call in. There's any number of ways that you could have appeared in court to state your case, and you chose not to do it. And you're using all these dumb excuses that don't make a bit of sense. And now, just like Timmy Boy, you're on the lam. And that means that now you can't even be in the state of Minnesota. Because I guarantee you they're looking for you right now. Her husband's likely to have another visit from the po-po, wondering where the hell she's at, if he has any idea where this woman's at. And, it could be, if this ever turns into a felony warrant, you're done. Because that's next. We're getting into all these cases. I mean, if this is all fake courts and Randy's scared about being executed and all this other BS, then why file the paperwork in the first place? Because, you're filing paperwork, you have to come to the state of Minnesota to represent yourself in these various cases that you filed in federal court. You cannot do it remotely. You have to be in that courtroom. And if you do not show up in that courtroom, your case is thrown out. Craig, Bob Hammer, and Kim Pacasio win by default, and the judgment's going to be in their favor. The liens are going to be put on all your assets, and that's the end of all of it. Yeah, Redline, everything is all good. It's been an interesting night tonight. We've got Randy Erickson basically going into hiding. Uh, Michael, according to the ruling that came out of the judge today, it's going to be a misdemeanor for now. Uh, Now, it could be elevated because of another filing that's being made, because you got Bob Hammer that's going to be filing because she's violated his order. Kim could file because she's violated her order. So once these warrants start piling up, because if Bob Hammer does the same thing and goes to court for the violation of him, the judge is going to issue another warrant. Kim Picasio, if she does the same thing, that's a third warrant. Then we're getting into felony territory. Oh, she wants to see the inside. What is with my trailer? No, you're not exempt from that. Where do you think you're exempt from everything? You're exempt from nothing, task force. Because if you were exempt, you would have appeared in court. Yeah, you can afford to travel, but you can't come to the state of Minnesota. And this is the thing, task force. And who are you? You stated, and I'll be talking about this, that you are not task force. That you are somebody that you don't know who task force is. Now, either you're task force or you're not task force. What is? Because I've got documentation that was given to me that states that you are not Randy Erickson, that you are play acting Randy Erickson. So we have no proof that task force is even Randy Erickson, because Randy Erickson has denied being task force. So how about them apples? A threat of legal action was made against someone because they stated that you were task force. And you said, if you don't stop talking about me as task force, I'm going to sue you. Well, you can't sue anybody because you're not in the state of Minnesota. You cannot go to the state of Minnesota, and you are not exempt from a thing. There's no legal statute at all that makes Randy Erickson exempt from anything, except perhaps telling the truth. She's exempt from that because she's not capable of telling the truth. And, well, see, we don't know who it is. Now, the future is coming up that the high command is going to be subpoenaed. The high command is going to be forced to tell who they are. No, it's not stalking. It's going to a public hearing. Public hearing. Now, you would think that someone who claims to be a former judge would understand that under the Constitution, people have the right to come to court and watch the proceedings. So you just lied again. You lie all the time. Well, I don't know how a person that stupid, if it is Randy, got a real estate license. But this task force person, whoever it is, can come in here and make a fool out of themselves, and it's not going to change the fact. And the fact is that by tomorrow afternoon, there will be officially a warrant for the arrest of Randy Lynn Erickson of Anoka County, Minnesota. Guaranteed. You know, she can brag about having a gazillion dollars and travel all over the world and all that, but she's doing it with a criminal record. And once the regulatory agencies that issue her these so-called licenses learn this, she may not have all these licenses she says she has very much longer. She's never shown proof, by the way, that she even has these licenses. You know, I find it interesting that task force is more interested in where Levi Page is than the fact that Randy Erickson is going to have a warrant out for her arrest. You know, this might be setting herself up for an insanity plea, because she is, in my opinion, insane. She has no grasp on reality. Who the hell keeps sending me all these notifications? You know, I'm getting notifications from a blocked account, and they're not here. But right now, nothing going on BitChute at all. The Facebook account is in limbo. The blog, there's nothing going on that. Yeah, and this is starting to be the beginning of the end. I anticipated that Randy was going to be stupid enough to not show up in court. She is that stupid. I'm not sure what she thought she was going to accomplish by not showing up in court. But it is it's just a really, really bad. Well, if it's connected to anything, Mark, it's connected to her stupidity. But you know, for right now, we have the issuance of a warrant for her arrest. It's currently at a yes, she does. When you're a notary public, you can't be convicted of a crime. That's the one thing they check. And so if she is a licensed notary public, the state will revoke her license for that. And they'll revoke her bond. Which basically, when you buy the notary license, you're actually buying a bond to protect your clients from any wrongdoing or mistakes that you make. So if she has a notary license, which is public information, then they can be notified, and then there's a possibility she could have her notary license revoked. Yeah, this was a bad move. I knew this was a stupid move the minute she did it, because she basically put on record that she is accusing Craig Sawyer, Bob Hammer, and Kim Bacasio of all these things. That's slander, defamation of character, and it's also committing perjury. And when this comes to trial, she's going to be asked to prove it. And she can't prove it. You know, just because you file something with the court doesn't mean it's true. It means you are making a claim. And you need to follow through on that claim. If that's wrong, task force. But fine. You can't, if you're Erickson, don't show up in court. Don't call the court and ask them for a rehearing. Don't show up. I'm begging you, do not show up in court. We'll see where this goes. But you clearly do not have an understanding of how things work. This is the stupidest thing. They created laws having to do with Zoom calls. This was done right, this has been the law for a long time. You should look it up. But fine, don't appear in court. Stay away. Go do the Thelma Louise thing with Timmy. Don't show up for your own lawsuit. Don't show up in Minnesota for that. Stay away. It's all fake anyway. I'm pretty sure you've gone out and transferred everything over into bitcoins or some nonsense. Because you do not defend and protect the Constitution of this country. So fine, go, why haven't you made a statement on BitChute yet? I've got BitChute up and running and I haven't seen a word from you people yet. You're so brave and you're so right. Why not make an announcement over on BitChute right now? Go over on BitChute. Click, 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 click. Why haven't you done that yet? And why are my statements illogical? Whoever this Perez person is. Explain yourself, Mr. Perez. How are my statements illogical? Come on, let's, state your case. Or are you just going to say, you're illogical because the logic is this. There is a law in the books in the state of Minnesota regarding Zoom hearings. All Randy had to do was call in. She could have called in from the beach someplace. But being the coward that she is, I'm not saying you put words in my mouth. I'm not saying buying BitChute goes against America. I'm saying she would be buying into BitChute because the BitChute is not traceable, and it's what criminals use to keep from getting tracked by the government. Randy claims to be a wealthy individual. So in order to avoid paying the judgments on these cases that she will lose, it's guaranteed, she is anticipating this and would logically put everything into Bitcoin, sell everything she owns, her car, her house, everything, put it into Bitcoin so that she doesn't have to pay a dime to Craig Sawyer. That's likely what she's going to do. And, that's what I'm saying. Any cryptocurrency, I don't care what it is. There's this crypto out there that's dog coin, or what do they call it? They had a picture of the smiling dog. She could buy that. Or maybe she could get a hold of Phil McConnell and buy some of them Zimbon things that he was selling. Do some money laundering. I mean, that's what they say. There's the picture. Remember, Tim Homseth took pictures of himself in front of 3 boats, yachts, for sale. Now, there's a possibility that both Tim and Randy are hardtailing it to one of those yachts, and they're going to get the flock out of town. They're going to go out into international waters where nobody can touch them. Well, Mark, I don't think Timmy's that clever. Timmy was in the court almost on a daily basis up until the time he met Randy. He would file action after action after action after action with the Minnesota courts to the point where they labeled him a vexatious litigant. So I think what's happening now is that it's been Randy all this time that has been advising Tim Homseth. And that it was Randy who told him not to show up in court. And that it's alleged that she has been helping him while on the run. Yeah, yeah, Craig has asked for damages, and as these other lawsuits move through the system, um, Bob Hammer's going to be asking for damages, and Kim Bacazia is going to be asking for damages. So they're going to have all these lawsuits out there. They're not going to show. She is not going to show up in court, and if she does not show up in federal court, then it's a felony. See, right now, she's messing around with a county court, and that's why it's a misdemeanor. But if she pulls this stunt in federal court, it's automatic felony. Yeah, they'll probably be sealing, because they're shopping for yachts. I mean, Tim has been to 3 separate locations, possibly more, looking at ocean-capable yachts. Not little rowboats, not a little day cruiser you can go out on a lake. Ocean-going yachts, sailboats, capable of crossing the ocean. So something fishy's going on with all these boats. He refuses to explain why he's taking pictures of himself in front of yachts. You're welcome. I'm going to be wrapping this up in a minute. I only planned on coming on for an hour to explain the situation. I'll get into more detail as I get more information. But as for right uh, I don't know how much audio we lost here. My mic went off again. I'm not sure why it keeps doing that. Yeah, this is a separate action I'm talking about, Joker. Uh, in the original case that Kim Pacazio had, Tim Homseth has been charged with 4 counts of violating that particular order. And that's why he's on the run, because he was in contempt of court on the second of the 4 charges, failed to appear, and he's on the run. Now, the lawsuit that I'm talking about that is with Hammer and Craig Sawyer is a new action. She actually filed another order, this one against Randy Erickson and Tim Homseth, in the Minnesota court system. And they violated that. They violated Hammer's order. And so now what's going to happen is Hammer's going to do the same thing that Craig Sawyer's doing now, and it's likely Kim Pacazio's going to do the same thing. And Randy's not going to show up for any of them. And so she's going to have 3 warrants for her arrest by the time the dust settles on all of this. And so this is what I'm talking about here. See, the problem here is there's so many of these legal actions floating around, it's hard to keep track of them all. But Kim is on the winning side. I mean, anytime Kim feels like it, she can hit her with the same action that Craig Sawyer did tonight or today. And okay. Okay, Jonathan, what happened here? Craig Sawyer filed for a restraining order. And the restraining order said that Randy was supposed to quit talking about him, quit publishing about him, to leave him alone. That was granted by the court. Randy immediately violated the restraining order, as evidenced by the BitChute channel. So Craig Sawyer turned around and filed against her. And this is what today was supposed to be about. She was supposed to come in. This was a contempt of court hearing because she violated the court order. And now, by failure to appear in court to answer the contempt of court charge, she got hit with contempt of court again for failure to appear. And so tomorrow, there's going to be officially a warrant out for her arrest. And so that means that if she is found anywhere in the state of Minnesota, her ass is going to jail. So she has to stay out of the state of Minnesota. And this is going to happen twice more because Bob Hammer is already in the process of preparing to do the exact same thing that Craig Sawyer did today. And there's a possibility, I don't know for sure, that Kim Picasio is going to do the same thing. Now, it doesn't escape me, Jonathan, because there is already cases in the federal court. Randy and Craig are suing each other in federal court. Now, there's a possibility that this particular situation could wind up in federal court. I'm not knowing what you're basing this on. And, this is not, you're not understanding what's going on here. You clearly are against Craig Sawyer, which is fine. But what Craig Sawyer is stating is that he is being defamed, he's being libeled, his reputation is being destroyed by lies by Randy Lynn Erickson. But all this stuff that Randy has published on the blog, on BitChute, Telegram, Gam, Rubber, bleh, all these is blatant lies. This is a civil action. It's not criminal yet. It's civil. And Craig Sawyer has the right to defend his name. Now, if Randy Erickson wants to come into court, which is likely not going to happen, she can say, this is the proof I have against Craig. And if she cannot prove her claims against Craig Sawyer, she loses the case. And she is going to owe Craig Sawyer a buttload of money. And the same goes true for Bob Hammer, and the same goes true for Kim Picasio. You just don't march into court and say people are doing this, that, and the other thing without proving it. And so what's going to happen is this is going to go to federal court. Both sides are going to present their case. Jury's going to decide, and someone is going to lose. Well, go ahead and add me to the defendant list because you're not even going to show up in court. And who are you? You have not stated who you are. You could be anybody. And you do not want me to show up in court because I will. I've got, like I said, this hard drive right here. Well, I can't get it. This is a 6 terabyte hard drive, and it is full of evidence against you. Oh my God, she's scared of me. What do you mean stalk PPTF on Telegram? Is it a private channel? No. Why are you stalking this channel? See, this is a double standard on your part, Task Force. You come in here every single time I am on the air with your bullshit, and then you whine and get your panties in a wad because I go over and I read your Telegram. It's a public channel. And you are admitting right now on this channel that you operate Telegram. So now that's more evidence against you, whoever you are. No, I'm not going to get off Telegram. You get off here. You've been told 100 times not to be on this channel, but here you are. It's called the First Amendment, young lady, or young man, whoever you are. Block me. I'm on Telegram. Your cult knows it. If you don't want me on Telegram, block me. Nothing on there but a bunch of crap anyway. But this is the thing. Task Force has just shown that they are terrified of this channel. There are only 19 people right now watching this live stream. And that terrifies Task Force. Absolutely, positively terrified. She does not like, or he does not like, me being on Telegram. And this Damude, I thought Damude was a legitimate account. Apparently not. See, here I am. Pedophile Task Force, right there. I'm on there right now. Public channel. There's Timmy and his yacht. Refuses to explain the deal with the yacht. And they're, infiltrated's over there stalking Montegraph. And you want to talk about stalking? Why is Telegram stalking Montegraph? Damn you! But, I for the life don't understand where these people think that they put up these public websites and then they get their panties up their wad when people look at them and say, "Don't come over to my Telegram. I'll sue you if you go over to my Telegram." What? What happened to the First Amendment? I guess you don't believe in that. Vladimir Putin would say, don't come on my channel or you're going to wind up accidentally falling off a skyscraper. So these are Putin supporters. Every damn one of them. They want a guy that kills children to be the leader of this country. But but all you people that come over from BitChute and Telegram, answer this question. What is the big deal with this channel? I've only got, there's 11, 12 people in here right now. 12. And yet you people are making this huge fuss because I go over on BitChute, I go over on Telegram. I don't make that many comments on BitChute. I did tonight because Timmy lied and showed that he's not over there. But still, yeah, idiot. Oh, God, I wish that had cut that out. Yeah, I get, I don't know how killing women and children and destroying houses is cleaning up Ukraine. I don't get that. And, both Tim and Randy were children, and yet they allow the killing of women and children in the Ukraine. Doesn't make any sense. No, I'm in Orlando. I live in Florida. I don't travel. I just support the Ukraine defending themselves against Hitler wannabe. Well, whoever Stu Peter is, I don't care. You're the one that's running scared because you're trying to get this channel shut down. I get my information from Ukraine through a lot of different sources. Well, I'm in a Popka, for Christ's sake. I mean, if you want to pick your nose and be that picky, then I'm in the city of Apopka right now. Jeez, where are you? Yeah, see, here's Task Force in here typing gibberish, and uh, and then watch me off a Telegram. I mean, that's a double standard. I mean, why do you come in here, Task Force? Why, Mert watches mainstream media, and it's not my only source of information. I I do research, which is something you don't do. And why do you care what I watch? Why do you care about anything about me? This is the weird thing. I am a retired truck driver. I only have 16 people in here. I have a channel that has what, about 1,100, 1,200 people? I'm a tiny, 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 tiny YouTube channel. My other YouTube channel is even smaller. And yet, Task Force has a big, colossal burr up their ass about this channel. Yeah, I like CNN. I certainly don't like Fox. Fox is, I don't have any kid pics. What the hell are you talking about? I mean, you're in here scamming this channel, gang stalking with um, this fake task force. I mean, is that all you know how to do, is go around scamming channels? Perez must have this thing for kiddie porn because he's in here asking for kiddie porn. Oh, your grandmother likes kiddie porn? Interesting. Yeah, it's this. See, this Perez guy is a perfect example. For some reason he has to come in here and scam this channel. Why? I mean, is that all this guy's got to do, is run around gang stalking people's channels? Um, he doesn't have a life, apparently, just like Task Force doesn't have a life. Because every single time I'm on the air, without fail, here comes Task Force. Because they are terrified of this channel. Hi, Levi. Uh, your it friend was here again, Task Force. And then we got another one of these weird people over on Telegram sending pictures of people in their underwear. Yes, who? Hmm. Well, I'm probably going to have to log off. The software is screwing up again. Um, I keep getting messages that my mic is muted. Where'd these people come from? Now all of a sudden we jumped up to 21. And I'm going to do one last check. And nope. The high command is persona non grata on BitChute. Yeah, it's the same old every time. Gaslighting the chat. Um, I'm going to do one check here. I usually do this on Saturday. No, it is not. High Command is a fraud. I'm not saying I am special. This is my point. What I'm saying is that Randy and other people want to make it special. Why are they in here? I'm a nothing channel. It's like I keep saying, and I've said it ever since I started this channel. It's a small channel. So why all the fuss? Why is everybody in here gaslighting this channel? That's what I don't understand. I'm not special. Not even close. I'm not like Tim Holmseth, who claims that he is the third removed from the former president of the United States. I have no connections like that. Why did I type that? I don't have that many pictures of me as a kid. Uh, and you did not specify what pictures you were looking for. Yeah, so I'm 71 years old, and I did not. What the hell's going on with this? Oh, wrong county. Y'all just timed out. Random fireman. Glad to see you in here. Yeah, we are waiting on the warrant. Should be coming out tomorrow afternoon. Apparently, I thought it would be out by now, but it's not showing up. It was issued after business hours, so it will be in the hands of the sheriff by tomorrow morning sometime. But she is subject to a $500 fine and a misdemeanor warrant. Yeah, that's what the shows are. View selection. Okay, nothing new on the Blanchard case. So that's still, jury selection is still scheduled for August 22nd of this year. So we got a little bit of time to wait that one out. But, this is what I'm trying to get across is that these weirdos are overstating uh, overstating my importance. I'm not doing it. They are. That's quite true, Michael. They will see if you owe court money and you do not pay the fine, then you're in even more trouble because number one, it gets made part of your credit rating, and so her credit's going to be hurt. This is going to hurt her professional standing as a licensed real estate broker and anything else she claims to be, because the court is going to track all this information. They do not fool around. The warrant, fireman, is contempt of court. It's the same exact thing that was filed against. She did not appear for a hearing. She was found in contempt of court. The judge gave her by the end of business day today to call the court and make arrangements for a continuance. She failed to do so, so she's basically got a warrant out for her arrest. It's a misdemeanor warrant, which means she's got to keep her butt out of the state of Minnesota. And there's going to be 2 more cases similar to what was supposed to happen today on the books. And if she does the same thing there, it could get bumped up to a felony. Plus we've got the federal hearings coming up, and that, Mike, I wish you would listen to the recording. I can't broadcast the recording in here because it's not supposed to have been recorded, but it is on the record today that she will be issued a misdemeanor warrant, not felony. This is a county court. So it's going to be a misdemeanor warrant for now. But remember, we've got the federal stuff coming up. It's the federal civil cases that will get her cited as for felony contempt if she does not appear in federal court. That's the difference. Now, I will verify this tomorrow when I get the warrant. I will post the warrant either Friday or Saturday and go over exactly what's in the warrant. Well, let's do this, Michael. Let's see what comes out of the court. I've only heard that it was going to be misdemeanor. Now, if that's the case, this is going to come out. I'm just going by what, they basically said misdemeanor. So. Okay, it's saying contempts of court. There are 2 kinds, direct and consecutive. Direct contempts are those occurring in the immediate view of the presence of the court and arise disorderly, contempt, insolent behavior. Now, what she is going to be charged with is failure to appear. I may have overstated that because that might be where the difference lies. But again, let's wait until tomorrow to see what warrant is issued by the court to the sheriff. Now, Holmseth was issued a misdemeanor warrant for this same offense. He did not appear in court. He was found in contempt, and a misdemeanor was issued for him. Now, you're correct, fireman. She is going to issue a bench warrant for failure to appear, and that turns it into misdemeanor from what I heard of the discussion. Now, if Michael is right, then tomorrow there will be a felony warrant issued for her arrest. And if it is a felony warrant, then she's not going to be able to hide as easily if it was just a misdemeanor. Because this goes to every law enforcement agency in the country, along with any automobiles she owns, any addresses that she has anywhere in the United States. And it is that time that she would find herself in jail in another state. And then there would be extradition. She would be brought back to Minnesota. And then the punishment would be there. But we'll see. I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying we've got to get. This is why I like documentation when I do my presentations, because I want to be able to back up what I say. So, as soon as I get my hands on a copy of the warrant, I will publish it. And we will see if it is a misdemeanor, felony, or both. So, that's where I stand on that. The thing to understand here is Randy is a hypocrite. She says she's this, she files with the courts all these legal actions, and then she backs off. She will not, she says, oh, it's a fake judge, fake court, fake this, fake that. Still nothing on BitChute. So she's, it's no comment by High Command, by Randy Erickson, by Tim Homestead. Absolutely no comment. Everybody's going silent. Raccoon City, Raccoon City, Raccoon City. We're all interested in Raccoon City. And it's interesting. Big fat zero. Why the code of silence? Well, the felony warrant might be sealed, but the misdemeanor's not. But we'll see. Again, Michael, tomorrow, after the end of business day tomorrow, 5 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Eastern, I will check the court to see if there is any the judge did say that she was going to stay the misdemeanor warrant until the end of business day. So, I'm going by the BitChute hearing, or by the, because of a family court situation. Sealed or not, Michael seems to think that the warrant has been sealed. Maybe, maybe not. But again, I'm going to have to check on this. But the judge did say that she was going to issue a warrant for Randy's arrest if she did not contact the court. And this was in an open Zoom hearing, open to the public. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait. Yes, you may not be able to look at the paperwork violation of a court order that was the issue today. It was not the case itself. It was a violation of a court order, and that is what is being petitioned. It was public. It was on the Zoom. It was a 5 or 6 minute hearing, and they said that there will be a warrant issued. What the warrant will be, we don't know. If you want to, this has a super chat. If you want to contribute to the super chat, you're welcome to do so. I guess that's what you could call tips. It's just, you know. But I've run overtime on this. I am going to close out right now. And what I will do is, again, as I get information on this case and these warrants, I will. Ah, jeez. Mark, why don't you go troll somebody else? I've lost all respect for you because of that. Yeah, you're just a stupid troll. I don't know why you're even in here. Yeah, but this is not Tim's case we're talking about right now, Levi. This is Craig Sawyer's case. But even at that, um, I well, basically there is right now. I'm gonna have to wait and see what comes out tomorrow and the warrants and everything. I'd like to thank everybody for coming in. Please like, subscribe, share the channel, and hit the notification because as these developments come about, I'll be reporting on them. I may do a live stream Friday. I probably will not do a live stream tomorrow. What I will do is I will make a note on Twitter regarding the warrants. And I'm sure other people will chime in and start publishing them as well. But please, stay tuned and we'll see how things go. So until the next time we meet, have a good one.